Hello everyone, this is your Jefrin baby. Today I have come with a very beautiful novel to review, and that's I Too Had a Love Story by writer Ravinder Singh. Since this February month is dedicated for the lovers, the Valentines, I would like to recommend all the best love novels I have read so far. So the first and the best novel I read was I Too Had a Love Story by writer Ravinder Singh. This book costs around rupees 175. During the offer time, you can purchase it. It's available in Amazon. I'll surely give the link in the description box. Please do purchase through that. And at the same time, during the festival times, you will get a high offer on this. You'll get at 50% discount. At that time, surely you may purchase this. And this novel has 199 pages. So nowadays, this is the old copy I have, and now presently many new forms of books have been published with the pictorial representations. So you can try that too. It will be great. So let's hop into the book review. This book, I Too Had a Love Story, is a complete non-fiction work by writer Ravinder Singh himself. He himself has written his own love story, his very first book, and it's India's bestseller. This was praised by the Times of India as well as the Indian Express. Okay, the story begins at Kolkata. In Kolkata, writer Ravinder Singh is there, and along with him, three friends, Happy, Amardeep, and Manpreet. All the four are meeting for a reunion after 2 years of engineering. And there at the reunion, they are getting introduced to a new website called Shadi.com. Nowadays in India, we have a lot of matrimonial websites, but in those days, in 2006, there were very few, and one of them was Shadi.com. And Happy, friend of Ravinder, introduced that to Ravinder. And Ravinder, after returning from Kolkata from the reunion, from his office at Bhubaneswar, he worked at Infosys there at Bhubaneswar. From there, he creates a profile for himself in Shadi.com. He uploads a DP, then he puts on the bio for now presently how we are using the Instagram. Same way he uploads a bio, a beautiful bio picture of himself. And finally, he sends requests to 2 or 3 people, but they don't respond. And finally, when he was in a meeting after some week, he finds a popping up of a message, and it was from Kushi, a girl. So Kushi is basically from Delhi, and she works at Indore. And from there, Kushi has sent a beautiful message. And that's the time they both initiate their conversation. Their conversation day by day proliferates, and finally, they are falling in love. So the beautiful love story begins, and both are enjoying the cherishing the new love which they have got, and they both are understanding that they both are made for each other. And finally, after they are confirming their love, they both are telling this news to their parents, and both the side they are receiving a positive thumbs up, and finally they are ready to get married. So at that time, Ravinder Singh receives an offer from his own company at Infosys to work there at USA for the next couple of months. So from there, he has to fly there. So he has to come down to New Delhi. So while coming there to New Delhi, he meets Kushi for the very first time. So they both are in an olive green dress, and they both are twinning. So they both were very much excited. It was really an ecstatic moment for them. And finally, Ravinder Singh Kushi leaves Ravinder Singh in a hotel. And there in the hotel, Ravinder Singh stays. And for the lunch, Kushi takes him to her home. There he meets everyone. He meets her father, mother, and everyone. And finally, he has a very good meal there. Especially Ravinder likes rajma, the kidney beans. So her mother makes kidney beans fry for us to fry for him. And finally, Ravinder Singh is very much comfortable with Kushi's family. Kushi at the end of the day wants to meet Ravinder by the evening. So what she cooks up a lie at her home that she was going for a tuition classes, and finally she makes her way to meet Ravinder. There she meets Ravinder in the room, and they both are having a beautiful romance. So you can call this romance a very healthy and a matured romance. They both are not crossing the limits. So this is the art we all have to learn from Kushi and Ravinder's love story. A very beautiful matured love with a matured romance without crossing their limits. And finally, at that night, they are having a very torrential downpour. And at that time, they both have to move to Kushi's house, right? So he takes an auto there, and the auto wala from there he takes Kushi to her home. At that time, there is a huge traffic, and Kushi's mother is really very much worried about Kushi. At that moment, Kushi's mother makes a call to her and asks, "Where are you?" Finally, Ravinder Singh attends the call and says, "Auntie, I'll take care of her." So Kushi's mother is now happy and contented on hearing this. And finally, they are making their way to the home late at night. And the next day from there, Ravinder Singh takes his flight to USA. So he flies there, stays there for a couple of time, and that's the time where the long distance relationship really worked for them. So they are sending mails, they are chatting, they are having video calls at that time. And finally, after completing his internship 2 years completely there at USA, Ravinder Singh comes here to India. So after returning to India, both the families are planning to have them engaged. So finally, they are fixing a date for the betrothal, and Mr. Ravinder Singh from Burla at his home is taking his parents here to New Delhi to Kushi's house. At that time, a tragedy occurs. Okay, this was actually unexpected in the story, and I was very much worried about the tragedy. And I cannot reveal the tragedy to you people, so you'll have to read the book and finally understand what's the tragedy there, and that will give you more masala to the story. So I request all my viewers to read this book and know what's the tragedy, and finally whether they both got engaged, what happened to Ravinder Singh, what happened to our Kushi, and to know all these answers, you'll have to read the book and understand. And I cannot reveal everything since it's a book review. So I request my readers to purchase this book and surely have a read. This will be really great. Not every love stories need to be successful, beautiful, great and all. Some will have ups and downs, so that's life. So you can digest this book. You'll have to digest this book after reading. So after reading, please do let me know through Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. I'm there in my name with Jefrin Baby. You can text me for sure. I'll respond to you. And thank you so much for watching my video. To watch my videos in Tamil, I'll give you the description of my videos in YouTube. So you can visit my page there in Tamil there also. So that's the book review, and the next book review I will meet you with Can Love Happen Twice, a beautiful love story, the continuation of this book written by writer Ravinder Singh himself. So until then, it's bye from Jefrin Baby. Bye bye, take care, love you all, cheers, tata.